the Anarchy Outdoor mag flag. Hey shooters, this is Joe Lowley from Precision Match Timer and Precision Match Gear, and I want to show you a new product I just got in the mail yesterday, and I'm pretty excited about it. It is the Anarchy Outdoor mag flag. So this is a mag block which you can, place in any of your rifles that are Remington 700 footprints, like the Voodoo and the Rim-X, and I would assume the Bergara and things like that. It is a rimfire one, and it is not only a mag block in that it will go up inside and block the bolt from closing and stop another magazine from being put in, but by moving this lever back and forth, it is actually putting a small chamber flag into the chamber, the actual chamber. NRL doesn't require that, but the PRS does, and I am actually in favor of it. I think you should have something inside the chamber showing that the chamber is not, does not have a round in it. So what can happen with a regular mag block is you could still have a round in there. Then you pull it out and you could, close what you think is an empty chamber, close the bolt on an empty chamber, and you now have a loaded rifle. This would stop that because this won't move forward into the chamber if there's a round there. So if it got stuck, you'd know there was something there. So that's a great idea. If you, from the chamber flag I created, that was important. And I tried to get something that would not, it would not move, let the bolt move. It would also show that the chamber itself was empty. And that was important to me. And I'll be honest with you, I think this is better. I think this is a lot better. And let me show you a couple things. When I shoot my centerfire, as you can see here, I use this mag block from MPA. It does the same thing except on a much larger scale. By pulling back this lever, it allows that protrusion right there to go into the chamber and show it is empty. This is a great concept. That's the only chamber flag I use now for centerfire. So I've been interested in something similar for rimfire. It's one of the things that led me to develop my chamber flag. I have also, to be quite honest, been working on something similar to this. I hadn't perfected it. I've been working on it on and off for a little while, and I'm not going to work on it anymore because I think they've already got it. And I'd rather support someone else who has already figured it out than try to become a competitor to them or something like that. So this is a great way to do it. And they have a couple different colors. I'm glad they didn't do black because that's the reason I had to make that extra collar for the MPA one. I don't like it in black because then it just looks like a magazine. But just that little bit of a slide back and forth. And of course, it not only allows that protrusion to go into the chamber, you're actually seeing right here the white flag. And there is, when you look into the chamber area itself, you can also see that it's white. You can see it goes from just a whole to white. And it's simply, let me turn this around. So it gets put in and slid forward. Now you can see that the chamber is occupied by that piece of plastic. When you pull it out, simply pull it back and release it. This can go in your, one of your magazine pouches when you're loading. or in a dump bag like I usually do. And I think it's a really good system. It is weighted. I'm not sure if I like the weighted yet. It is, it's got a pretty substantial amount of weight. I guess that's so you can drop it, so it will drop free better. I rarely drop it in this position. When I'm at a match, you know, I'm loading more likely like this, where I just gonna pull it out and then put a regular mag in. So I'm not sure I like the weight. The weight seems like it may just be something additional I don't need to carry all the time, but it's probably also not gonna hurt. So if there's people that, you know, tend to load it this way and they want it to drop free easier, I kind of understand it, but I'm not sure it's of a lot of use, at least for me. So I am gonna be running this. I have not run it in a match yet. But I plan on running it, you know, from here on out. I'm going to run this instead of mine. I think it's a really good system, and I'm big on promoting things that work, and I'd like to, you know, help encourage people to use these. And I got to tell you, the price they have on them is really good. I think it was $40 before shipping. Comes in like 3 colors. You can't beat that price for what you're getting. So the only other thing I had an issue with was whether if you accidentally left it that way and yanked it out, whether you could snap that off in the chamber or not. It's loose enough that if you did snap it off, it's going to fall right out. So that's not an issue. It's just whether you would break it. And from talking to the Anarchy Outdoor guys on Facebook when they first announced it, you will be able to unscrew these 4 screws and put a new piece in. So that's great. If that does happen, which I don't expect it to happen very often, I put it in there and tugged on it a good bit, and it's pretty strong. This is printed in ASA. They told me that, and that's fantastic. ASA is strong. It is also good in the sun and extreme heats. It's a lot like I print ABS often because of the heat factor. Not so much during the day where you're just out in even 105-degree heat. It's when it's in your trunk of your car. It's when it's in the back of your truck under a tonneau, and it's, you know, the temperature's getting up to 120, 130 degrees. That's where it could really be an issue. But if it's printed in ASA, it's not going to be an issue at all. So I applaud them for that. As someone who does a lot of 3D printing, looking at this thing, I'll show you some close-ups. It is really, really well printed. It looks extremely neat. I like the design of it. I have taken it apart to look at it and make sure it wouldn't be too hard to replace this inner white piece. And just, they did a really, really nice job. So I encourage anyone who's shooting a Voodoo or a Rimex or Bergara or any of those 700 footprint actions to get one of these. And I think you will not be disappointed if you do. And I'd like to see a lot more of them out on the stages. So that's it for me.